Hi everybody, welcome back to Arma Reforger, and in this beginner's guide tutorial I want to show you how you can improve your navigation as a helicopter pilot, because you may well have seen my videos and other videos where people show you how to do cool landings and takeoffs, but unless you know where you're going in conflict, it's a little bit of a waste of time, because you'll end up just hovering around where the people want you to drop them and getting fired at with RPGs and machine gun fire. Before we start though, because the way that we're going to do this, we're going to jump into Game Master and we're going to practice flying to the major capture points and finding a safe place to land near one of those. Before we do that though, I just want to say that if you're on PC, there is kind of a better way to do that. And that is, if you go into the workshop and you download the RHS Status Quo mod, it's pretty big, and disable Game Master budgets, what you can then do is when you go back to scenarios, you'll find a version of conflict with no AI. And if you host this yourself with the disabled Game Master budgets, it's like spawning into a Game Master game that has all the conflict capture modes already in. So all the tents are there. So when you go to any of the capture points that you want to go to, say military base Levie or the capture point at Levie just outside by the town, the tents are there. So it's a little bit more like playing conflict for real, but without AI shooting at you. But because we can't really do that on PlayStation or console at the moment, PlayStation or Xbox at the moment, I thought we would do this just in Game Master. So we're going to go to Game Master and we will restart. She wants to restart. So for some reason, over the last couple of days, been really terrible connection problems for Arma Reforger. I guess lots of online games as well. I guess Amazon Web Services are probably taking a hit from something or other, or it could just be the sheer popularity of Arma Reforger. But I'm recording this during the day, so it shouldn't really affect it. So let's get the map out. This is in Game Master. Let's move the camera up there, and what we'll do, let's go to the end of the runway, and let's spawn in a helicopter pilot. Should we move this out of the way? There we go. So you can spawn in there, which I did wrong. I want to spawn that in as us. So we press space to place it as myself, and then let's find a helicopter. There we go. That one will do. Let's move that out of the way. That one will do. Let's put that down there, and let's move this down here so you can see what I'm doing button wise, and we should be able to now, with a bit of luck, play as the character. So here we are. Now I've put the overlay on, that way if you're new to flying helicopters as well and you're wondering what I'm doing, you can physically see what I'm doing. Now obviously I'm playing this on PC, but I play on PC with the gamepad. Yes, I do. So is he going to close his door? He has closed his door, so let's just go inside. Let's start the engine up. I do like doing it inside rather than outside. I think it's much cooler. Right, and then let's have a look at the map. So we're up here, there. So we know, for example, there are capture points. Obviously, there's one at Charlotte Bay here, right there, at Saint Philippe. But maybe what we should really do is, let's see, say if we wanted to do a really long flight. Do we want to go all the way down to here? It's quite a long way, that, isn't it? Let's not go to Levie yet. There's military bases that are used all along this area here, and there's one there, I think, and there's one there at Fisherman's Bay. So what we're going to do, we're going to fly down to there, and then we're going to look for, when we get to where should we go for? Let's go to Fisherman's Bay first. When we get to here, we're going to find somewhere to land. Now on the map, the green areas generally have trees and the grey areas don't. Doesn't mean they're suitable for landing though. And obviously when you land at a tactical location, if there's enemies there, even if they're NPCs, you don't want to be landing next to it because they're going to be shooting at you. So we're probably going to look at landing probably there. So we're going to take off. We're going to head southeast, cross this bay here, and then when we cross this piece of land here, we're going to be looking for somewhere to land. Now if we go to first person, when we look down, You can see in the Huey, there is our compass there. You see it just below the artificial horizon? But let's get this bird in the air. And let's tip her forward. If we go in, we can check our... So we are going... Probably not quite as... We probably want to be going this direction a little bit more. Like this. And this basically is the drill. It's flying to places where we know there are capture points, major capture points, and just finding somewhere safe to land, and then taking off again. That way we're getting used to the visuals of the landscape in terms of where things are, and we're also getting a visual of, we know if we want to go to this particular capture point in this particular place, then we know this is how we get there, and there is going to be, you know, an empty field. So we're going across the bay now. So if we look at our map, so there's that bay there. So there's going to be a military point there. So we're looking to scoot round about there after we've gone across the bay. Let's take it down. Let's come up here. There's going to be a military base to our left, so we'd want to kind of miss that place. Should be taking fire. See it there is on our left. And the other one is actually on that, is there up ahead of us. Ooh, you can kind of see it. So we want to think about landing now. So I'm just going to nose up a little bit and collect it down a little bit. So this is probably a good place to land. So let's flare, 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 flare. Lead off a lot of speed. Bring it down. Oh, a little bit of a hard landing there. But there we go. So everybody out, everybody out, everybody out. So they all leg it off. We spin around. We would start heading away. Because obviously what you wouldn't do is fly over the target. But what we will do, because we know there's no NPCs there, let's just swing around anyway and just take a look so we're familiar with it. Because the other thing you can do as well is, let's say our friendly troops, we buggered off for a little bit and flew around and did some other things, and our friendly troops took the base and were like, right, come and pick us up. So now what you can do, it's also a good idea to have a practice at landing at these places, because this is a very different type of landing now. Friendlies will own it. There might be some enemies around. But what you can do is just get familiar with, okay, so when I come to this place, alright, yeah, I know about this place. I know there's a radio tower by that big building, and I know I probably want to come down in this area here. Just get rid of our forward motion, take it down a bit. I probably want to land sideways like this. Come back a bit. Avoid that wall. There we go. And so our troops could now get in. Hopefully we're going to stay on the ground while we just have a look at the map and go, right, okay, so we know now we are here. So where are we going to go next? So if we, how about, right, Levie's just over there. So you've got military base Levie there, but generally it's very difficult to land near military base Levie. But normally there's a capture point right there in that field. So why don't we see if we can land just to east of Levie here, or maybe in that field there. We just want to land somewhere when we're not in direct eye shot of either the NPCs or the real enemies that are here, and that way our troops can then either take Levie or they could go onto the military site there. So we know we need to go basically south. So if we take our helicopter up, let's just hover for a bit, go to first person, we can check our, so we're heading south. So what are we looking for? So we're going to fly over one town. So there's going to be a town to our right, and there's going to be a town underneath us, and then the next town is Levie. So they're the landmarks we're looking out for. And that's what you need to kind of be telling yourself before you kind of leave, right? This is what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for a town on my right, And then I'm looking at a town I'm going to overfly, or I say town, a little village. And then it's going to be Levie, and that's where I'm going to be thinking about a field to the left of Levie. Right, okay, so here's that first town. In fact, I'm just going to go a bit higher than I normally would, just so that we can have a look at the village too. Right, so there's the village to the right, I guess. There. There we go. And then this here, this will be Levie. So we were thinking about this place here, but it's a bit exposed. And in fact, the military base is just here. So what we're going to do, we're just going to hook around, and we're going to land over here. And let's see if I can do a bit high. See if we can do a fancy landing. There we go. Bring her down. There we go. So we're out of direct view of the people who are at Levie, which is to our east now. But also the soldiers could head off that way. So let's imagine. Let's go up. Let's imagine our soldiers, you know, we've flown away, we've had a fly around, and our soldiers have captured the little base at Levie. And they're like, right, can you come and pick us up? And you're like, yeah, no worries, let me do that. So, we'll come over here. The other beauty about doing this in a helicopter is you really get to know the lie of the land, and areas that maybe you ignored when you were flying around in a jeep or a truck. So when you play Conflict, this is where the kind of the village Levie tents are, the capture points. So we can come down nice and slow, have a look round. We're really looking for things that are going to capture our rotor blades, like these trees in front. Get down, get down, get down. Right, there we go. So we're on the ground. So then we could pick up these soldiers, and we go, okay, so where are we going to go? Where could we go next? So Western Heights. Now this is a capture point. I think it's called Tower Regina normally. So if we go directly south from where we are, we're going to go up this. There's a mountain, and then there's a point there. So let's see if we can navigate to there next. So let's turn that off. So let's go inside and have a look at. So at the moment we're pointing sort of northwest. So we need to turn around. So let's take her up and let's lean back a little bit so we don't catch those trees. Let's turn around. Let's have a look. Right, so a little bit more. Right, now we're going south. Okay. Now we probably want to avoid flying directly over the military base, because you know there'll be NPCs with RPGs and all that sort of stuff. We can see the mountain ahead of us. There's the military base Levie to our left. Okay. So we're looking for the radio tower, which I think we can just about see ahead of us. Now I'm going to attempt to do a flash landing again here. See if we can do it without crashing into the tower. A bit low, to be honest. See if we can do it. Ooh! Coming in a bit fast. Not one of my best. Ooh, are they sticks and take out our rotor blade? Right, ow, ow, ow! Everybody get out! So they go off. And they then take the tower. So let's have a look at our map. Where could we go next? So we now know we are here. So it'd be okay. Well, so with that tower, we can now take the main base at Saint Pierre. So ooh, okay. So we know that normally they're around here, aren't they? So what we're going to do? Are we going to land people here, or are we going to go beyond, land them here so they can make their way back? I think probably would land them there. So we're going to head off. If we headed off south well, what it would be east-southeast, so in this direction, and then maybe swoop around and then come back and land them here. Okay, so let's take her up. Everybody's back on board. Let's go into first person. So round about this sort of position here. When you really get advanced at this and you really start to kind of become very confident in your navigation and your landing skills, so you can land fast. The other thing you can do is you can do false landings as well. So you could deliberately kind of fly close to an enemy objective with the idea of, so they know, oh, there's some helicopter troops landing, and then you could pretend to land somewhere, and then you can take off again and then land them somewhere else, or maybe land half of a squad. Right, so we know the base is on our right now, so we're just going to nip over the top of here. Probably wouldn't be the best this, because we'd be taking fire, but what the hey. And we're going to land them, I think probably on that beach. Yeah, probably not a great idea, but again it gives us an idea of one of the problems here is the sheer how open this area is. But did a bit of a J-hook to lose our speed. If we were just fighting NPCs at this particular base, the fact that we've flown past them doesn't really matter, because they can't see us now, and therefore they would then yeah, we'd be out of sight, out of mind, our soldiers would go. Okay, so where could we go next? So we are sort of here, so what we could do is go to, there's quarry, isn't it? Now there's normally a base here as well, isn't there? So I wonder if we'll be able to find that. See, the base won't be there, but maybe we can find somewhere to land. So we know we want to go north, so let's take off. Let's go to first person. And we'll go that way. And that basically is the idea of this. So you just keep on doing this sort of thing, hopping around, becoming familiar with the landing sites, becoming familiar with where you can land, and before you know it, you'll become an expert in navigation in conflict in Arma Reforger. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and of course I'll see you again soon.